We'll call the regular meeting of the Upshur County Commission to order. We'll begin with a moment of silent meditation and prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll hold off on the minutes for a few minutes. And we have Mr. Virgil D. Miller, Sheriff of Upshur County. And we'd like to turn the podium over to you, Sheriff.
I'm not like Willie, I've lost a little weight. I have to pull my gun belt up here. I think this gun belt makes my hips look bigger. What do you think there, Joe?
Always gain 10 pounds on television.
Pull it up high enough so it covers your face.
Oh, you're just jealous.
These suspenders,
Might have to.
Get a hernia from that.
JC will loan me a pair of them orange steel ones he's got. Well, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Fine, brisk February morning, so everybody's in tip-top shape here. I've got 3 items to bring before the commission this morning, and the first one I'm very pleased to talk with you about. A young gentleman seated to my left, Michael Perth. Michael comes to us from the great state of New York, right outside of New York City. Mike is a student athlete at West Virginia Wesleyan College. He's a criminal justice major. He is in his senior year. He'll graduate next December. And Michael, through his criminal justice sponsor at West Virginia Wesleyan College, requested that we bring Michael on board as an intern. And that's why I'm here this morning to present him to the commission. And I think you have in your packets also a letter requesting Mike be covered under liability insurance policy of the county for his duties with us. We did last week, I have to tell this one on him, he just lives right outside of the city of New York, so we actually call him a city kid. And we took him to the game farm. He had never been to the southern end of Upshur County last week, and we took him to the game farm. And the staff at the game farm was very congenial, and Michael got to, for the first time, play with wolf pups. He got to pet a deer, and I think he got up close and personal with the black bear and the cougar, didn't he? The mountain lion. So I think he thought that was quite an experience. But Michael?
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Just want to say thank you guys for giving me a chance to be here. Yeah, it was definitely an experience. Never got to receive black bear up close to the mountain lion. Seen all different types of animals. Now I kind of wish I grew up in the wilderness. But it's definitely good here to be here this morning, see how things work. Definitely like it. So hope you guys accept this request.
What are your aspirations when you get your degree in criminal justice?
Well, in the long run, I do want to work for some type of letter agency at the end of the day, maybe ATF, U.S. Marshal, something like that. First, I do want to have the experience of being a cop, so that is probably my next step once I graduate college. I'm going to probably look to join one of the police academies.
You'll go back up to New York City, possibly, or
possibly, yeah.
you missed your opportunity. You missed your opportunity.
Yeah, so it's definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Though I know there's a lot of places I could go in this field, so who knows where I might turn out.
I think you'll find that public service is a good thing, but public service and law enforcement is a special thing. And I think anyone that's ever engaged in that occupation very rarely has a regret that they've dedicated their life to that. So I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
I know you have a good mentor here in the officers and the sheriff of Upshur County.
Well, is according to the letter, the internship will end in April of 12?
Yes.
Okay. So it's just from now till
Right.
Till
it's this semester at,
okay.
at the college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we'll keep Michael longer if he wants to. voluntary services.
You never know, we always have wild bears running around, we might need somebody to now with your experience.
I have to tell you, Michael, I said he was a student athlete. He was actually a linebacker for the 9-2 Bobcats this year.
So he had a new experience as linebacker.
Lion. Right, the linebacker.
That physical prowess may come in handy in law enforcement.
Okay, so we have a motion that we approve the request.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Welcome aboard, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Okay, Virgil, go right ahead.
My next letter, I don't know which order you have them in, but I have for the new hire, since the 23rd of January, Troy Brady's retirement. We have endeavored to begin the process or to replace that slot or fill that slot. And I recommend to the commission this morning the hiring of Jason Queen. Jason is already a certified officer, if you recall. While we had CJ overseas in Afghanistan, he filled in as a temporary hire. He's a certified officer, has been so. He worked Randolph County Sheriff's Office before it and with West Virginia Department of Natural Resources. I have pleased to say he's current in his certification, and we would recommend him. He is #1 on the list with the Civil Service Commission of Upshur County. He was your highest scoring candidate on the written test, and so I recommend him for hiring, starting $15.77 an hour, and we'd make the effective date approximately February 19th, 2012.
Okay.
And I'll correct something. At the heading, it says November 29th, 2005. That was an error when it was typed.
Mr. Parker spotted that
I would
immediately.
move to correct that, to amend that to 2012.
Okay, any questions on the request? Not, we have a motion to approve.
So moved.
I second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
All righty.
Virgil,
Thank you.
what is the cost? I think the public should know. When you have a certified officer coming on board, that saves the taxpayer money in terms of sending them down to the State Police Academy. What is the general cost of that training?
Well, actually,
we reimburse the state police.
See, there is a sum of money on any fine or citation issued that goes into the LET committee. And the LET committee banks that and pays the academy. And I'm thinking it's in the neighborhood of about $12,000 to send an officer down. And that does not include the cost per the county, which is roughly about, $2,100 a month, $2,400.
Plus the uniform, of course, that
Does not count equipment, yes. And that equipment is another lion's share.
He can start the job running. He doesn't have to go through any mentoring until a class opens up. He can
No,
start right on the
he's
job.
an experienced officer. I think he's got 9 or 10 years under his belt, so.
Very good.
He can, and he's born and raised in the county. He's native here, so he's familiar with the county.
Right.
Very good. #3.
And he lives out beside Willie.
Well,
And
that's a good
another
thing.
reason. If Willie would be honest and tell you, he has 2 deputy sheriffs that live now within eyesight of him,
And a state trooper. A state trooper.
and a state trooper.
Which is good.
There you go.
Of course,
He's well
there's no
protected.
extra fee to keep an eye on Willie. Yeah. I don't know if he's well guarded or they're well guarded. I don't know which way it is. The third letter I have is a request to, as you're aware, we went through, Troy Brady retired the 23rd of January, and I request that the approval to bring Troy Brady back as a temporary position as a Chief Deputy of Investigations. This will be a non-civil service position, and Mr. Brady will work 20 hours a week to follow up on his cases both in the circuit and federal court, and to follow on any investigations that need completed or any major crimes that we would have that need his expertise, and make this effective February 9th, 2012.
Any questions on this?
I did meet with Sheriff Miller and Mr. Brady. We'll have to keep it under 20 hours a week, otherwise the retirement will become an issue and affect his retirement.
Right.
So, you know, it'll be less than 20 hours a week on an average. If he works over, we'll have to, you can work more than 20, but you cannot average more than that in a calendar year, fiscal year.
Right.
And did talk to the sheriff and Mr. Brady about keeping it to current cases as much as possible. I think if there's anything outside of that, the commission should be advised of what the cost would be, because our budget, we can't have an open end to it, so we need to keep it to current cases unless the commission's advised otherwise, if we can do that. Those are the couple of comments that I would have. We've talked about it'll be, you know, it's not a deputy sheriff, it's not a uniform position, or if it would, it'd be a completely different type of uniform than a deputy sheriff, and not a marked deputy sheriff cruiser.
We anticipating leaving him in an unmarked vehicle, plain clothes. He will not answer radio calls or anything like that. Like I say, unless it would be a circumstance the deputy needed his expertise in something.
And that would continue at his current hourly rate.
Right.
What it would be.
Right.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Not, do we have a motion to approve the request?
I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
That's all I have this morning, unless the commission has anything else.
Thank you very much, Virgil.
Okay, thank you all.
Take care. Welcome aboard, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we have Linda Mealy, Director of One Unique Recovery, for Our House, and Laura Green, member of the Board of Directors. Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm going to let Linda do the talking. She's the director of Our House. I'm currently one of the board members. My husband is as well. And she's just going to give a little overview of what Our House is and how we've survived over the past year.
You may want to pull that mic down just a little bit. Virgil's just a little bit taller.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Our House stands for One Unique Recovery House, and we've been in operation just over a year. We took our first resident in on January 17th, 2011, and Our House is a halfway house for women who have drug and alcohol dependencies, and our goal is to help them in recovery and sustain a worthy life of just being a productive citizen. All of my time there has been volunteer over the past year. I spend between 20 and 30 hours a week over there. We service all of West Virginia. We've had some Upshur County residents. We've had some people that moved up here actually from the southern part of the state have remained Upshur County residents because they like it here very well. And the paper you have before you is just kind of our statistics for the year. We have a board of 9 members. I think there's 9 now, right? Okay. And they're all a volunteer board. We've gotten 87 referrals in the last year, so there's definitely a need, and I just keep getting referrals every day practically. We've had 20 admissions. I evicted 2 for breaking rules or what have you. 8 people left against my advice. Basically, they didn't want to follow the rules. 4 graduated the program. We have 6 in our house at this point. And everything's been paid for through donations from the community and fundraisers that we've had. When we got the house last January, within the first month, it was completely furnished by community donations. The churches and everybody just pulled together, and it's amazing. I invite any of you that would like to tour our house and see what we have to please just feel free to call me, and I can arrange that. But I've just been amazed by the support of our community, and that we've been sustained for a year now, totally on fundraisers and community donations and the rent. Now, the girls aren't there to loaf. They've all gotten jobs within the first month of being there, and they do community service. We worked in the community garden this year, past year, and I look forward to doing that again. I think they really enjoyed it. Well, some of them did. Some of them weren't too happy about it, but I enjoyed it. And, you know, this kind of just tells you that how well we've been supported by people. And, you know, we take them from jail or we take them from the street, however they come to us. And I think it's a worthwhile project, or I sure wouldn't be there.
Sound like a very good program.
Yeah.
And a needed program for the community. Gentlemen, have any questions, comments?
Do you have a budget that you operate under?
No, sir, we don't. We have no actual funds coming in, and that's one of the reasons I'm here today, is to let you know that we really need your help. We have so we've applied for grants in the past, but we had to show sustainability, and I think we've done that with this. So we're applying for grants as we speak. We have a person that's working on that. And of course, if we get any money to budget, then we'll budget it. But you know, we could set up a budget if we knew we had a funding source. But at this point, we budget what we get. You know, it's kind of like most people nowadays. We live paycheck to paycheck, and we go month by month. Right now, we're sustaining pretty good. You know, the girls have all been real good about paying their rent on time, and you know, if they get behind, they catch up pretty quick, and you know, we just do the best we can with what we got.
So the rent that they pay, that's your major source of funding that you can pretty well count on every month?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Plus the contribution from the community and businesses.
Right. And those just come sporadically.
Yeah.
Nothing is continual.
The food you receive from Mountaineer Food Bank, that doesn't cover all the needs, does it?
No, it doesn't. The girls do apply for the SNAP program at DHHR, and most of them qualify. I've got 6 girls in the house right now, and I think 4 of them are qualified, so that helps tremendously.
Do they kind of pool their money? Or pool
Yeah, what they do is I actually hold the cards, and because I don't like going to 7-Eleven and getting a pop. You know, I won't let them do that. So I hold the cards, and whenever they say they need to go grocery shopping, I give them a card, I make them make a list, I go with them, and Laura's took them a couple times too. We teach them how to budget shop, and one of them will spend their card for that week, and then maybe the next person the following week. So.
And then they share with everyone.
Yeah, they share with everyone, and they do a lot of cooking now. In the beginning, it was kind of hard to get them to cook meals, but now they're doing real good.
What's the average age of your residents?
The average age, I would say 25.
Are they high school graduates, or do many have histories of not?
Some of them are high school graduates. Some of them aren't. We have one that was a nurse. We've had one that has had some college, but most of them have committed drug felonies or some kind of felony, so you know that kind of wipes away their career. But you know, they've worked at. I still have a couple people working at Holbrook's nursing home. They work at Burger King, fast food places, wherever. Hotels have been really good about hiring, so.
Good program.
Thank you.
Well, it's good to give them a second chance and an opportunity to turn their lives around, which, you know, as we talked before about, the jail system doesn't do that.
No,
They go
it
into
doesn't.
jail, it's for punishment. It's not, there may be some rehabilitation, but it's not as a general rule that has much long-term effect, so. We certainly appreciate what you do and all those that help do it.
Thank you.
Quite a valuable asset to the community.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, we're a little bit shy of our next appointment, which is at 9:30, so Terry Jo, if you're ready to read, we will let you read the minutes at this point in time.
Okay. The County Commission of Upshur County, West Virginia held their regular meeting at the Courthouse Annex on Thursday, February 2nd, 2012 at 9 a.m. Donnie Tenney called the meeting to order. There were present Donnie Tenney, Commissioner, Creed Fletcher, Commissioner, J.C. Rafferty, Commissioner, William Parker, Administrator, and Terry J. Bennett, Administrative Assistant. The meeting began with a moment of silent meditation and prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. All motions passed unanimously unless otherwise stated. After reading of the minutes on motion by Creed Fletcher, seconded by J.C. Rafferty, the Commission approved the regular meeting minutes of January 26, 2012 as submitted. William Parker provided a review of the Community Partnership Grant Agreements with the West Virginia Development Office as follows, and they're listed. After discussion on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Creed Fletcher, the Commission approved and authorized the President to sign the grant agreements and all related documents. After discussion on motion by Creed Fletcher, seconded by J.C. Rafferty, the Commission approved Dalton Suter as temporary part-time worthless check clerk per contract with the Administrative Office of the Supreme Court of Appeals. Effective date of employment is February 15, 2012 at a rate of $8 per hour. After discussion on motion by Creed Fletcher, seconded by J.C. Rafferty, the Commission approved Fairmont State University students Heather Weldon and Melanie Edmond as interns for the Lewis Upshur Braxton Community Corrections Day Report Center for the Lewis County Office. After discussion on motion by Creed Fletcher, seconded by J.C. Rafferty, the Commission approved the resignation of Marilee Cheek as Program Director, Case Manager for the Lewis Upshur Braxton Community Corrections Program, effective February 17, 2012. After discussion on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Creed Fletcher, the Commission approved the resignation of Kelly Davis as board member of the Buchanan-Upshur Park and Recreation Advisory Board. Donnie Tenney reviewed the following for your information items. Number 1, agendas and or notices of meetings that are listed. Number 2, meeting minutes and or financial report information that's listed. Number 3, Board of Review and Equalization schedule for February that's listed. Number 4, meetings for January and February that are listed. Number 5, appointments needed or upcoming that are listed. The Commission approved all invoices for payment. The Commission approved all vacation orders. The Commission approved the following final settlements that are listed. The Commission approved the following exonerations and or refunds that are listed. The Commission approved the following consolidation of land tracts that are listed. The Commission discussed upcoming vacant board appointments. After discussion on motion by Donnie Tenney, seconded by Creed Fletcher, the Commission approved Roy Moss as board member for the Buchanan-Upshur Airport Authority. Mr. Moss will fill the unexpired term of Robert Baker ending June 30th, 2013. Note Tenney and Fletcher for, Rafferty abstained. The Commission met with Greg Harris concerning personnel issues. The Commission will follow up at next week's meeting. The Commission met with Dale Bennett, Rex Reeder, and Gary Ratking concerning the Upshur County Livestock Facility. The Livestock Association representatives will follow up and report back at a future meeting. Note, item not on the agenda, report only. The Commission recessed at 11:30 a.m. The Commission reconvened at 1:00 p.m. The Commission met with Helen Phillips, Assessor, concerning Board of Review and Equalization. With no further business on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Creed Fletcher, the Commission meeting adjourned at 1:30 p.m.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as read? Not, I'd ask for a motion to be approved as such.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Say aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, it's 9:30, and our next agenda item is Luke Elser, Project Manager, Northern Brownfield Assistance Center, 2012 Focus West Virginia Brownfields Program Grant.
Mr. Elser's coming forward and to the podium, as you gentlemen are aware, but the County Commission applied for a grant, basically a technical assistance type grant to the Upshur County Youth Camp facility for a Brownsfield location from a former tenant many years ago, decades ago.
Right.
And
half a century ago.
yes. And So that's the project we're talking about, and he's here. We have a real check, but he has a bigger check to go over, and then if he can answer questions that how they would be involved and what involvement they can offer the county.
Okay.
So thank you for the time this morning, and you're exactly right. My name is Luke Gelser. I'm a project manager with the Northern West Virginia Brownfield Assistance Center, and you don't have to remember that big long name. Our center is based out of WVU of Morgantown. We serve the northern 33 counties of the state, although the Focus funding program, which the County Commission applied for, is eligible for the entire state, so it's competitive statewide. Our center provides programmatic, technical, and long-term revitalization support to county commissions, local government, quasi-governmental entities, nonprofits, really anyone interested in cleaning up old brownfield sites. And a brownfield, if you're not terribly familiar, is basically any piece of property that could be developed or redeveloped into something productive but isn't because there's environmental concerns, either real or perceived. So if there is pollution on a site, it's a brownfield. If the common knowledge of people think there's pollution on the site and nobody will touch it because of that perception, it's a brownfield and is eligible for certain kinds of EPA and federal state funding and support. One of our programs, which really summarized very well, is the Focus program. It provides basically mini grants, $5,000 and $12,000 grants to nonprofits and local government entities to basically kickstart new projects, to bring together stakeholders, identify key players, create a revitalization plan, which would include, for this particular project, doing the environmental assessments to figure out what is actually on the site, what the real answers to the questions are, what's actually going to be needed to clean up the site and prepare it for that end use. We also provide visioning support to help communities figure out what exactly that site's going to become. A lot of the times, if you have an old factory, for example, you know, every town in the state and the country has an old factory they want rid of, and nobody has money to knock those down and get rid of them. What there's money out there for is to build something new, you know, put up new soccer fields, put up a new business, build a new park, build a new library, and changing that perception from, well, we have an old building we want rid of, to, yes, we have a building that we want rid of, but we're going to knock it down, we're going to put up something fantastic. That's the exciting vision that gets support and gets funding and gets done, basically. So I just wanted to come today and present that $5,000 Focus grant to the Commission. I'll say real briefly, this has been our most competitive year grant-wise. We tend to fund about 70 to 75% of our applicants in previous years. This year we funded about 40%. So I think that speaks really well to the application that was submitted, the project that was sort of dreamed up by Willie, and the vision of turning this old wood alcohol processing plant into productive land that's going to be a benefit to the youth camp and the entire county and region. So I have a check here to present to the Commission.
Okay, why don't you come up here?
And we can either take the picture now or at the conclusion of the meeting, whichever you'd prefer.
Well, just right now.
Sure.
We're very informal here. Hey, we always take a break for a check.
I find people really like me when I come up with money, you know? So,
Why don't you stand right here behind the bald-headed guy?
Yeah.
Hold that up.
Balance it on my head.
Well, do you want to jump in the picture?
Yeah, well.
Oh, yeah.
You can always tell the people that really like in the picture. That's the high and back.
That's right.
Too bad we couldn't add another zero to make that 50,000.
Yeah, no,
I've got the real check. We're working on that.
We good?
Maybe we are.
It's not out of film or you can't on your digital.
They don't use film anymore, do they?
Card's full. He's taking so many pictures of French Creek Freddy, your card's full on this man. Here, Joe, you may have to go get your camera.
We can do that. Or I can go get you a battery, because that's the same camera that I use for
Is it
tracing and
really?
mapping.
Think the battery's a problem, Amanda?
It shouldn't be, but it's not working.
Why don't you,
You took one picture, you just have to.
did you get one picture, Amanda?
It flashed, but it's not showing.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, after we get through here,
Yeah.
if you'll hang around a while.
Yeah, I won't go anywhere.
Yeah, just don't take a check.
Yeah, they won't let you cash this one, but I believe, Bill, you should have gotten the actual.
Yes, we do have the actual check.
You definitely couldn't put that through the drive-through. I don't think that.
No, nobody will really let you cash this. I didn't put the spot in the back where you sign it.
Well, we certainly appreciate that, and
Absolutely.
that's been an issue of concern up at the youth camp for a long time. It's been fenced off, so no child could get into that area. And
Right.
as Willie alluded, there's a lot of history there. That was back in the day, a very, it was a wood alcohol and tar, and the byproduct was charcoal. So there's a lot of charcoal in that area. That's why they don't encourage anybody doing grilling, because the whole place might become a grill. But we have pictures here in the courthouse of that, and they're not here in this room, but they must be on the second floor.
It's in the hallway. I
In the
think,
hallway out here, so you might take a look before you leave.
Absolutely.
Of stacks of wood when that was in its heyday. So
Oh, interesting.
it's interesting how history, sometimes you got to clean up history, you know.
And I'm excited to basically, we recycle. That's our whole job, is to recycle
Right.
land and get it back into productive use, especially flat land in West Virginia, which
Right.
is
Very
pretty
rare.
valuable,
Very rare.
hard to find. The only other thing I'd like to mention is that the funding source for this is sort of a nice point to mention. The Focus program is 100% funded by the Benedum Foundation. So this is all private foundation dollars, no public money, no private tax dollars, anything like that. So we have a lot of say in sort of what we'd like to spend the money on, how it will be most productive to be used.
Right.
So,
Okay,
thank you.
well, thank you very much, and we'll get a picture here in just a little bit.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Region 7 Planning and Development staff was helpful and instrumental in helping prepare the grant application, so I've got to give them a plug at the moment. So if, now may be a time to take the break, because I know that Channel 5 and 12 would want to do some interviews, and get some pictures from
Well, I think
Amanda
we're-
or our camera or whatever.
Right, we're down to other than taking care of business, so we'll take a recess and get the camera going and provide an opportunity for all the press that's here to take advantage of their.
For Carol to bring in the
My
paper.
battery is dead, that's exactly what it does.
Okay, we'll move on down for our next agenda item is at 1 o'clock, our Upshur County Policy Board of Elected Officials, and 2 o'clock, our Upshur County Commission Supervisors meeting. But we have some items for discussion and possible action. First being approved number of election workers, poll workers, emergency absentee ballot commissioners. Do you have a separate list there, Willie, of those?
Yeah, the office of the county clerk brought those up this morning, and they're, for your signature, it's just the number of Democratic and Republican poll workers that requires your approval by precinct.
Okay.
No names yet, just numbers.
Just numbers. We need to approve the numbers.
Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the numbers?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is as a result of our recent incidents in our maintenance department, and we're making some changes within the department and some redirection of our employees, plus hiring some new ones. So consolidation of jobs. That's the word I was looking for.
I figured you were.
So we need to approve the transfer of Gregory Blaine Harris to Director of Facilities Operations as of February the 19th at the salary of $45,000. The position will include supervision and responsibilities regarding the maintenance department, supervision of animal control officer, Upshur County Safe Structures and Sites Ordinance officers, and other facility-related functions. So, Will, if you'd like to elaborate a little more on that.
All right. First, it should be February the 12th. I typed the wrong date. It should be February 12th as it relates to our payroll. And Blaine has an E on the end of it. Sorry about that. But it is an expansion of our the position, the former maintenance supervisory position, into a larger role, and requiring, other functions and duties. Some that Mr. Harris is currently performing as it relates to the safe structures and sites ordinance board. He's the officer for that board. You either have to have a county engineer or other technically qualified county employee, and Mr. Harris has filled that role since that inception of that board, and so that's going to require some additional time as it relates. And then the supervision of the animal control officer, which is the next item that you have there, is transferring or assigning those duties to Michael Kelly. He's agreed to do that, but it is going to require some organization and time management skills to accomplish all this. And farther down, you'll see where we have employment of some maintenance workers, which will assist in completion of projects. I'll address the skills of that individual when we get there, and some of the others we're looking at. But Mr. Harris is uniquely qualified to fulfill all of these functions. It is a much larger role than the previously.
Actually combining two supervisory positions
Yes.
into one, and actually long-term is probably saving money.
And
It would.
the vacancies for the hiring of the two individuals were the result of the passing of Gary Bailey, the former supervisor, and the retirement of Gary Brockelman.
Yeah, and then the transfer of Mike
Mike.
Kelly. A lot of them, if it's approved as presented, Mr. Kelly's, probably 75% of his time, maybe, especially during the summertime, will be related to animal control. He'll still be assisting with the maintenance.
Right.
That's the need for two, is Gary Brockman, Mr. Kelly, and
Right.
then the other, situation with Mr. Bailey. So we'll,
Understand.
we did have some excellent applications.
So I understand we had about 20, 25 applications
Yes.
coming in. And those are reviewed by yourself and Mr. Harris.
Yes.
Recommendations will be forthcoming at some point.
We'll have one later on in the meeting here, yes.
Okay, so any other questions on this recommendation? If not, I would ask for a motion to approve the transfer of Greg Harris to this position.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. The next is assignment of Animal Control Officer duties and responsibilities to Michael W. Kelly to assist with maintenance of grounds and buildings, hourly rate to be reviewed during budget preparation. So Michael is in the maintenance department now, and with the maintenance and grounds and buildings, maintenance of grounds and buildings, and as Willie stated, he will be assuming the major role of the animal control officer, and also then be working at what he's doing now.
Yeah, currently, he will not be the humane officer, so that function will revert back to the sheriff's office. It has to be a deputy sheriff unless the commission and the sheriff agree to appoint somebody else. Mr. Harris was filling that responsibility also, but initially, Mike Kelly will not be the humane officer. It may work into that. I'm sure he'll be assisting if there's a humane call. I'm sure he'll be there. But the sheriff's office will need to assume the responsibility of investigation of humane.
That requires some additional training on Mr. Kelly's part if he were to assume that responsibility.
Yes, I mean, it's really no structured training, but, working with Greg and the deputies of what to look for, the investigation techniques involved, so we can, make sure everything's according to the statute.
Correct.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve Michael's change.
So moved.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is assignment of groundskeeping duties and responsibilities to Hartzell L. Cool, assist with maintenance of buildings and animal control, hourly rate reviewed during budget preparation. Hartzell is in the maintenance department now. He'll continue to do that, plus part of his responsibilities was to assist Greg in animal control. So he will maintain that duty and responsibility to assist in that as needed. So anything else on that? Any other questions? If not, then we have a motion to approve that change.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is assignment of building permit duties and responsibilities and floodplain management to Terry Jo Bennett. Continue duties and responsibilities, addressing and mapping coordinator, and assist with commission office responsibilities. Hourly rate to be reviewed during budget preparation. And during this whole transition process, Terry Jo volunteered to help with this, because it goes more in line with what she's doing in the addressing and mapping, and we certainly took her up on that offer and appreciate that, stepping up to the bat and being a team player. So is there anything else that needs to be said on that?
You know, just as a part of that, probably, you know, one of the areas that some of time will be reduced is actually attending commission meetings and involvement in minutes. It's just so many hours in a day and so many days in a week, and this will involve more time, you know, field work, computer work, and et cetera. So
Let's coordinate the flood plain that overlays with the addressing and mapping database that we have, and it's only a logical extension of responsibilities there.
yes.
And again, I appreciate Terry Jo's willingness to volunteer to do that.
Okay, if there's no other comments, then I ask for a motion to approve this change.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Assignment of duties and responsibilities regarding attendance at commission meetings for the purpose of recording matters for minute preparation to Jacqueline Dinklocker. Continue duties and responsibilities of minute preparation, minute indexing, and duties secretary to the commission. Hourly rate to be reviewed during budget preparation. And this basically then, as Willie alluded, and there'll be times Jackie will be taking the minutes and we're more involved in what you see today. So do we have a motion that we approve that change?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item is employment of two individuals, full-time position at maintenance department.
We only have one recommendation Mr. Harris does this morning. We're still working on the other recommendation. Excuse me. But it's Michael Wayne Haler. And he has a master's plumber's license as well as a journeyman electrical license, carpenter experience. Effective date will be February 21st at the rate of $13.50 per hour.
Okay.
Is the recommendation.
Any questions or comments on that recommendation? That's been one concern we've had all along, is having a certified electrician. And you know, there's always issues of concern, even when you're changing light bulbs or rewiring a little something here or there, if you don't have someone that's licensed. And the other aspect of it is the potential savings by having a certified electrician on projects like down at the extension office. We had someone on board that was certified to do that. There could be a considerable savings on projects like that. So I think this will be Mike will be a welcome addition to our maintenance staff. So do we have a motion to approve this request?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
We would hope to have the other recommendation next week.
Okay. Okay. Approved transfer of Micah R. Hitt Harris to Program Director and Case Manager for the Lewis Upshur Braxton Community Corrections Program as of February 19th. Annual salary of $30,000. Now, is this to replace Mary Lee?
Yes.
It is. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
You were at the meeting, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a decision was made by representatives on the board last Monday evening. A special meeting was held at the Lewis County Courthouse, and representatives from Braxton County, Lewis County, and Upshur County were present. And the recommendation was made to have Ms. Hitt Harris assume responsibility as case manager and director for the Community Corrections Program. And as we know, that program has been a vital program in saving money to the county relative to the alternative to the incarceration of individuals in the regional jails at a rate of around $48.50 a day, I believe it is. She has experience. She was recommended for the position by a number of individuals, and the rate will be the same as Marilee, I believe, or a little bit less than
A little bit less, yes.
Than she was making.
Was she working in the program?
Yes, she was working in the program already as the manager over in Lewis County.
Okay.
Of course, the money comes from grants, not from county budget, so it's a pass-through type thing.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the recommendation?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is approved transfer of, employment of Stacy M. Truman as a temporary part-time case manager for Lewis Upshur Braxton Community Corrections Program as of February 8, 2012, with the hourly rate of $12 per hour.
Ms. Truman was a former, I think, full-time employee of the corrections program and has requested part-time status because of family obligations and whatnot, and again was highly recommended that this be approved.
Okay. We have a motion then?
I'll make that motion again.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
On the next two items, Commissioner Tenney, the date should be the 26th in discussion with Carol Smith in the payroll department. For the amount of time involved to make that change in the middle of a pay period, it would be better to make it at the beginning of a pay period. I've called and left a message. I have not made personal contact with Marilee Cheek yet, but I've left a voice message that that date will change due to
But
that.
are these two individuals are on board now? right?
Yes.
So it's just a rate increase?
Yes, it's a rate increase, and
A week later
it's
than...
going to be a week later and $20 difference on a 40-hour week, so need be, I can kick that in.
You've been known to do that before?
It would be easier than spending $200 in time and effort to make the changes and then to change back, so.
He got in trouble by Carol is what he's trying to say.
Yes. It's worth my time and effort and money to keep Ms. Smith happy. Because she's the one that has to put in the time and effort and then changes.
Okay, so the item is increase hourly rate for Twyla Wolford from $10.29 to $10.79, effective February 26, 2012, and increase the rate of Krista Jackson from $10 to $10.50, effective February 26, 2012. The existing employees merely adjusting their rate of pay.
Yeah, and Commissioner Rafferty sits on that board, and they're managed by that board of directors. The commission, your approval is necessary because we're the fiscal agent. Technically, you have no management and control responsibility. You're just the fiscal agent as a pass-through.
So JC might have to pay that difference.
I can
Well,
cover
if
that.
Lily is
if need be.
unsuccessful in getting Carol to back down on that, I probably will.
You guys could share it.
I think we're going to shift it to Magistrate Kaufman, who was involved in the planning of
Yes.
this.
There you go. Okay, do we
The
have
need
a-
for prior planning is to question your bookkeeper is to make those effective is good practice.
One
Okay.
motion could take care of both of them.
Right, I think so.
Yeah.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Approval of cooperative grant agreement with Volunteer West Virginia for $3,200 grant for Upshur County Citizens Corps. This is this the training to take care of pets?
Yes, through the National Humane Society that Mr. Ferry spoke to the commission about previously is $3,200. I don't know how many, I can't remember, 20 individuals or so, I think. The training will be at our new 911 OEM Center, sponsored by the National Humane Society. Individuals from Lewis and Upshur County both will be involved.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the grant
I'll make that motion.
agreement.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Approved letter of support to Upshur County Development Authority's transportation grant proposal on page 7. This is for the Latham House. The grant will be used to help restore the historic 1866 Colonel George William Latham House in the center of Buchanan. Latham House is central to the complete downtown revitalization program and will be a focal point for the community organization activity. Located along the former Staunton Parkersburg Turnpike, the facility was saved from destruction 2 years ago and is projected to be the future home of the Buchanan Upshur CVB and Chamber of Commerce. So we're asked for a letter of support with this grant proposal. So I have a motion to approve the document and all 3 commissioners sign it.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Okay, move on down for your information. Copy of correspondence from Jimmy Gianotto, Director for Division of Homeland Security, Emergency Management regarding the statewide addressing and mapping project. Terry Jo, that sounds like in your area of expertise.
I'd asked Willie to actually put this on the agenda just to give everybody an idea of what's going on. Back, I'd say probably in the October timeframe, I was contacted by Jennings Starcher, who works for the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, on the status of our addressing and mapping project. And at that time, I had told him what they were looking for was they were trying to gather the information from each one of the counties so that they could prepare a letter to send on to Washington to make sure that our project gets completed in regards to the United States Post Office. And so I had at that time requested with him that when that letter was prepared that I would like a copy of it so that I could keep my commission informed. So I finally was able to get the letter one day last week, and basically what it consists of is it tells the project of where each county is in regards to their conversion with the United States Post Office, from the 19 counties that are currently complete, that are using their physical address 100% within their county as mailing addresses. The other 15, I believe, with the difference in how far along the United States Post Office is with their conversion. And then the 10, which is where Upshur County falls into, that has provided their information to the United States Post Office, but has not, the conversion process has not begun. It is weekly, if not daily, I get comments, when is this project going to be complete? And, you know, I've told everybody, I don't try to pawn off anything onto anybody else, but as far as the Upshur County Commission is concerned, we are done with the project. We are as far along with it as we can go. We are in the stage of maintaining all of the physical addresses, which consists of when a new home is built, we go out and actually provide a physical address to that structure, or when there is any homes that are moved within the county, we are also providing those. So at this point, what we are waiting on is for the United States Post Office to complete the conversion process, which consists of they will be using our physical addresses as mailing addresses. And then once that takes place, then we can provide that information to the telephone company. But it is not until the post office does the conversion that we can forward our information on to the telephone company to then be complete with the project. So this just was the status of for all 55 counties, and wanted to let you guys know what was going on with it. So.
And individual residents will be notified by the post office as to the date effective for the conversion to the
right. The only
physical address.
Correct. The county has no control over when the post office actually converts those physical addresses into a mailing address. So what I tell everybody that comes in and requests their physical address, if they want to take that paperwork to the post office to work out their mail delivery, then they by all means have that, you know, that they have the documentation now to take to them. But those of us who have waited to get our physical address that aren't aware of what it is, please know that it is available. But when the post office is ready for you to change your mailing address, they will notify you. In the meantime, I would recommend to everybody, come in, find out what your physical address is, because if you use a P.O. box or you're out of state, obviously you're not going to get any notification from the post office per se that your mailing address has changed. And for 911 purposes, which was the whole point of the project, then obviously you would be able to use that physical address to help in the response for 911 emergency services.
And people can get their physical address now
Yes.
by contacting you.
By coming to the commission office.
Filling out a form.
It's a matter of filling out a form. We look it up on the on my program, and then we provide them with that address. We give them the information of what we recommend them, the guidelines for displaying that physical address for 911 purposes. But yes, they are available and have been available, and we recommend everybody to come in and pick those up.
Have all roads been assigned the names throughout the county?
Yes, all roads to date that are required to be named that we're aware of have a name on them. Yes, of course, if we're in the phase of now, if a new house goes in and there's already a driveway that maybe, let's say, there's 2 houses that use one driveway, if there's a 3rd house that goes in, then that road is going to be required to be named, that driveway. So to date, we've identified all of those and they do have a name on them. But of course, with any new construction, you have to look at those individually and see what's going on with it and where we're going to assign the address off the new structure. So
It's an progress.
it is, yes.
It will continue to be.
Yes.
As long as there's progress.
Yes.
Where does the determination come from as to when the Postal Service is going to do this?
Well, the problem is that we are considered to be it's the Charleston office that's doing our address conversion. There's a few counties in the northern panhandle that went to the Pittsburgh office, so they're done with their conversion there in the northern panhandle. But ours is coming from the Charleston office, and what I found out, and basically what this letter says in a nutshell, is for the last year there had only been one individual that had been assigned to do the other, the 50 county conversion aspect of it. And this letter is basically asking the individuals, representatives in Washington, D.C. to make sure that this project gets completed with the funding to be able to hire individuals that will help assist in that conversion. So as it stands right now, I know that there are 2 part-time individuals that are assisting with trying to get the conversion process taken under
For the
control.
whole state. 2 part-time people for the whole state.
2 part-time people for the whole state.
So maybe some time yet before this
Right.
takes effect.
And obviously, you've got the 15 from Braxton, Doddridge, and so on that the conversion has begun there. So they're going to finish them before they start any of the other, which there's the 10 of us that, turned in all the paperwork that had been required to turn in. But they haven't even looked at our documents yet.
But it's not necessary for the entire number of counties, 55 counties, to complete their information and submit it. They're not going to do it all at one time for the entire state. It will be on a county by county
They
basis.
piecemeal it, yes, that
As
is
they come
correct.
in.
As they come in and they have their edit sheets, it's being piecemealed in. And that's why, as you'll see, some of these counties, as it says on the form, there's 13 zip codes or 19 zip codes in Braxton County, and 13 of them have been completed. Right. So it's going to be a similar situation in Upshur County. When they do start in Upshur County, they're going to take some of those smaller zip codes and go ahead and convert all of them that are we'll just use the French Creek 26218. All of that will be done before they begin another zip code and the conversion process. So even once they start in Upshur County, it's not going to be like a whole sweep that as of this day the whole county is going to be converted. It'll be kind of piecemealed even within the individual counties.
How many people, do you have any idea how many people have received their new address? I mean, it's like a percentage or anything?
I do, as a matter of fact. We have over 1,500 people that have actually come in and requested their physical address and has the information required in order to go ahead and display their physical address. And I don't know if you've noticed, as I have, as I go up and down the road, a lot of people are following those guidelines and actually displaying it as the commission has asked them to do, which ultimately is only going to help in the response time for emergency services. So.
And how many residents are there? As a percentage, the 1,500 would be approximately what percentage of?
A very small percentage.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if there's 24,000 people, there's probably 10,000 residents, you think?
Well, I have over 18,000 addressable points, but now that includes like bridges and hydrants and stuff like that. So, you know, you might as well take off, let's just say 5,000 of those. So I'm looking at maybe somewhere in the 12 to 13,000 residents. I mean, Helen would definitely know that answer based on the assessment process versus me with my addresses, because I have an address, like if it's a house that's multi-tenants, you know, like there's a house that has 3 apartments in it, then each apartment has its own address. So mine is a little construed compared to what the true assessments would be for how many residential structures there are in the
maybe
county.
10%, approximately. 10% of the people have their physical address.
And as you gentlemen are aware, next month will be the 3rd year anniversary of our edit sheets being at the U.S. Postal Service.
Right. And the way it looks, it may be another 3 years before Upshur County is completed. Could very well be 3 years.
Now, if individuals want to use it as a mailing address, I believe our local post office, that's their decision, will convert their rural route and box number to the mailing address, the physical address to a mailing address. I have done that at my residence.
Well, and that's the post office's call.
That's the post office's call.
It's not our call. And we're telling people not to, but it's the post office. Since they're the one delivering the mail, they tell people you need to start using your physical address for your mailing address, and that's their call, and that's totally acceptable for them to do that.
We have done our part.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We submitted the information in March of 2009, and then I was really excited because they came to me and said, can you send me any of your new edit sheets, any updates or anything like that back? I think it was in April of 2011. So I, at that time, was under the impression from Jerry Smith that they were going to be starting on Upshur County in 2011. Well, I have since found out that there's a number of counties ahead of us and they've not started on Upshur County. So again, when they get ready to start, I will, you know, submit any updates or any changes that we have in our edit sheets. So I'm in hopes at that point that I will know, okay, they're starting on Upshur County. So.
Well, it's been a major undertaking. It's been a long road.
To say the least.
We'll get there eventually. Okay. We're down to
Excuse me.
building permits. And in January, we had $1,097,000 in building permits in Upshur County. That's the building that's going on legally, which we know about. So, and we have our monthly dog warden report, notices, agendas, and meetings, and minutes, and etc. for your reading pleasure. So, do you gentlemen have anything else? Willie, you have anything?
No, sir.
Just bills to pay? Papers to sign. Okay, well, we will change our mode of operation and our direction and start paying the bills then.